The effect of music on human psychic and physics can be attributed to its internal and external characteristics, and that
Mm-hmm.
music as a personality. Okay, so what I want to know and us to discuss is one thing that I've heard whenever I mention about music and branding, that everybody goes, yeah, but music is subjective. How are you going to find it, make it objective? So let us discuss, music being subjective versus being objective, because it is somehow related. It depends. I mean, well-known song is related to memory of where we were in which happening, during experience in our lives we heard about it, and that's what we reflect when we re-listen to it, and then you and me can have a different feeling of that song. So
Mm-hmm.
how can we work around that, and how do you work with brands to reach a common understanding of piece of music with this subjective objective,
Mm-hmm.
how to say, a little bit challenge, but what I mean.
Sure. Yeah, sure. So music can be both, and most often it's like a mix of two things. But let's start with the subjective music, subjective experience or evaluation of music. If I listen to, let's say, I'm from Austria, so let's say the Blue Danube Waltz, dun 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 dun. When I listen to this, I don't necessarily listen to the intervals and the tonality and the tempo. When I listen to this, I think of New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, because in Austria, everyone dances to Blue Danube Waltz. And on New Year's Day, there's the New Year's concert by the Vienna Philharmonic, which everyone watches. So this for me is end of the year and New Year's resolution. If I hear this anywhere, that's what comes to mind. It comes to mind the coziness of family. So, and we all have this. We all experience when we listen, let's say, to accordion. If you write whatever piece, if you play it with accordion, it sounds French or Italian. Or if I write whatever piece, whatever, very simple. But if I play it with a harpsichord, then I feel like I'm in a Bach era in 1800 somewhere in France or Germany. So these are our images that we have in our mind because of our cultural upbringing. And these, some of them are universal, some of them are, country specific. So this will always be an important part of if we choose music, when we choose music. What is the cultural background of this music? What do we associate with people? So we need to really ask also people, how does it make them feel? The other element is what is really, again, the objective elements of music. And there are some, like what you mentioned before, tempo, the speed, the tonality, major, minor, in the middle, is it sentimental? The pitch, the genre, the orchestration, and arranging. Is it like a harsh drum sound? Is it a soft sound? Is it a mellow sound with a brass instrument? These are all objective factors that are the intrinsic characteristics of music itself. So which are not always that loaded by cultural knowledge that we have. So, and we want to use the best of both. If I know I want an exciting, I need some excitement in the music, then probably I want to have it fast. Not with harpsichord, maybe. It really gives us different than if it's slow. Maybe some anxiety, and if I want it a little bit scary, then I could do this. Like weird intervals, or I make it easy. Forward looking. Just a few examples of these are intrinsic characteristics of music. Where on the keyboard is it? How do we combine those notes that have just effects? And we need both.
Yeah.
Because
and music is a language, and when it comes to the objective, I really try to point out that it can be objective, and by that I mean, like, look at the film industry. I always say, for example, that um, in a love story in a movie, in somehow you know that the couple are gonna kiss or make up because the music coming before the images, right,
Mm-hmm.
tells you that story. And then
Mm-hmm.
of course majority understand a love song, or that happiness, there's something in that song that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like, yeah, he got her, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that is like that, it can be objective using music like that. What is
Yeah.
your take on music in films, and being subjective and objective?
Well, with music and films, it's always really the composer needs to know what is really the story about and what is the emotion the director wants to convey. So the music is really the second violin in this element. It's not about just the music being beautiful all the time, but how can we support it? And I mean, there are also these like this YouTube videos of like whatever, The Shining, and then someone made a trailer with happy music, and all of a sudden it's ridiculous. It's so funny. It changes everything. So to really understand and make a beautiful audiovisual product in a film, in an ad, you need to understand first what is the story. So it's really programmatic, and then you have them add music to it that does not distract. Sometimes you don't even hear the music because, I mean, you don't even notice the music because it's so good that you actually forget there is music. You don't want to distract from the content that you have. And this is some, I say this with, some self-pity as a composer, because as a composer you want the music to shine, but no, you need to support that storyline, and everything. The storyline is the king, is the key, and the music, how can you make it non-intrusive, supporting what you have to say? And for that you also need to have clarity as a director, as a producer, as a marketer, what is actually the message you want to bring, and then let the composer do their work to support this.
Wow, beautiful. That is, I would say, a strong learning that the brands should really take in.